Hello guys and welcome back. So in this episode we'll be walking through on how we can use solid and adjustment layer. One will ask, what is adjustment layer? In my own simple definition, this adjustment layer actually give you greater control and flexibility over your video or image edit than direct adjustments. Okay, you can make non-destructive adjustments to the colors and tones in your video or image. Okay, whilst you keep editing the adjustment layers without permanently changing the pixels in the image. Okay, so adjustment layer actually is a layer that we create that will be on top of your video, and you will give some kind of effects to it that will actually take control over the video. So for example, let me just drag your attention back a little bit to the lightning. The lightning, we do apply the effect actually directly to the video. Okay, so but with the adjustment layer, we don't have to do that. We have to do all the effects that we want to give to the video to the adjustment layer. So if we are to drag it across all the video, the effect that we give actually will be very visible to all, and it will take effect on the video. Okay, enough of the talking. Let's get to the real practice. All right. So to do that, well, first what we need to do here is just make sure that your project panel here is being selected. Okay, then you go to File. All right, then you go to New. So where the new is, when you come down here, we have adjustment layer, and below here we have bars and tones, black video, color matte, and stuff. We'll come to color matte shortly in this episode. Okay, so let's just click on adjustment layer. Then here you don't need to do any settings or changes. Just click OK, and automatically you have this adjustment layer created in your project panel. Okay, all right. So from here, what you need to do here is to make it active. You just have to click, hold, and drag it onto the video here. In fact, you will not see any effect because we haven't given any effects to it. Okay, and this adjustment layer actually is kind of lengthy, so let's just cut it. We use our eraser tool. Let's cut it somewhere from here. All right, so let's just delete this longer side, and what you do here is we'll just drag it to the middle here, because that's where I just want it to be. Okay, we just want it to drag it to somewhere here. Okay, which I think is okay. All right, so for now we haven't given it any effect. So here what we do here is let's go straight to our effect here, and you come all the way to distort. Okay, let me just collapse so you guys will have understanding of where actually to locate that thing. If we are to type it, we will not get it because we have another distort file in there. Okay, so always what you need to do is come to video effects, then you have distort there, click on it, and you have a lot of distort options here. All right, and we have a lot of effects here. So here I can just click on the 12 and drag it on top of the adjustment layer. Okay, so if I click on it and go to effect control, all right, I'll have the trail here, the twirl. So if I start to twirl it, maybe dragging it somewhere, you see that the video will start to make some kind of twirl in there. Okay, so let me just drag it from the middle and bring it on top of some clear portion here. Okay, so this is actually how the video will do. So there are all kind of effects that you can actually apply it to your video. All right, so you click here for us to reset the perimeter. All right, so now let's go in again and let's go for the lens distortion. So first what we need to do here is let's delete this tool that we put. So to delete the entire effect, just click on the effect here and hit delete. You have totally deleted all the effects, the settings, and everything on this particular adjustment layer. All right, so then I can then drag the lens effect onto the adjustment layer again, and with here I can have some kind of effects here, which I have a curvature tool, okay, which also comes in this kind of form. All right, then I have vertical decentering. Okay, then we have this one also. Okay, they are all kind of effects actually that if you think you need it, you can actually apply it. Okay, but you just apply it wisely. So let's just reset all the parameters. Okay, let's just reset all the parameters. All right, so from here, I'll just drag my head here. Let me drag the head here to the end. All right, then with the curvature tool here, I'll just click the toggle and animation to bring in my keyframe, for which I will not add anything. I'll just leave it to 0. Then I'll press the arrow key, the down arrow key actually, to come to the middle here. So whilst in the middle, I'll set it to -100 and click OK. So you can see how it's looking. All right. So then from here, I will just drag my header to the last here, and I will set this side to 0. All right. So I have now set some kind of effect in it. So now let's play from this portion and let's see the effect that we're having. So you see, so now the video doesn't just the lightning doesn't strike alone, but it strike with a different kind of. So if I should drag it back and play, you see this is the earlier effect. So now if we are to enable the adjustment layer back here and we click, you see some kind of effect in there. You see how the video actually changed. All right, let's start. You see all the background, you see straight to here. All right, so that is the work of the adjustment layer. Okay, all right, so now let's just break the middle here just to have some kind of point in there. So I'll just break it, and I can see that this side is longer than this. So what I need to do, okay, maybe if you face that issue, what you need to do after you have pulled this one on top of it, mark it, and you see that these are the left areas. So you can go in for your razor tool and click, and you can use the selection tool to select and delete. So now we have what? Set everything equal. Okay, so now everything in there is very, very equal. All right. Okay, good. Now let's then apply the same effect to the rest of this video. So just to select both of it, hold on your Alt, click and hold while you drag to the point. When it snaps, you let go of your mouse. Okay, we do same selection, Alt, you click, hold and drag to the last very one. Okay, so now let's just render these 3 adjustment layer that we put there so that the video will not lag in. It will just play straight ahead. All right, so now let's just give it some few seconds for which it will finish rendering. Okay, then we can have a play of it. Then you can see the kind of effect. So you see this adjustment layer actually, it is good when you are doing color grading or color correction on your video. That's where you have to use the color, the adjustment layer. Okay, it actually saves you enough of time, and that is the best than going to one video, do the color correction, come to the second one. Maybe the settings that you used for this one, it will be different from what will be here. So your video actually will be looking some on and off. But when you use the adjustment layer and you give it one settings, all the video is going to have one settings. Okay, so adjustment layer, it is very, very important. All right, now let's just wait for these two actually should finish rendering. It should be done by now, but I don't know why it's lagging, but let's just give them a little bit time. Okay, so adjustment layer is very, very important. Okay, you have to always have it in mind when you want to apply one effect to all videos. Okay, it is much important. All right, so let's just give this our rendering video some few minutes, which is just about to end the last one. Then you can actually have the feel of how this adjustment layer actually it is. In fact, you can do away with this adjustment layer when it comes to editing your videos. All right, so as you can see, it's done, and you can see that the way it's playing actually it's very, very smooth. So you see, very nice effect, very, very nice effect. Okay, and we just achieved this one by using the adjustment layer. Okay, so this is also one important uh thing that you have to keep in mind. All right, okay, now let's take a look at the solid. Okay, all right, so now let's move on to solid. Okay, so with this solid, actually for us to achieve that, you can tell that from some the lessons, actually beginning of this, after my intro, you see some background with a text having the title or the lesson heading and stuff on it. Okay, that is actually how we can use the color mat to create that. But in my case, actually I don't use the color mat to create those things. Actually, I design the background myself, export it as an image, bring it into Premiere Pro, then I then what drag it and put it on top of where I just want it to appear, and I do the typing in on it. Okay, so don't worry, before this training will go over, I'll just demonstrate to you how actually I did the headings and stuff. Okay, all right, so just a quick one. For you to create such color mat, or maybe you want to use it for maybe heading and stuff, you go to file, but always make sure that your project panel here is what selected. Go to file, all right, then you come to new, then you come under straight to color mat. So when you click on it, this is actually how it actually appear. It all look the same as the adjustment layer. Okay, so what you need to do, just click OK. But this one, when you click OK, it will not take you directly to your project panel, but it will bring you to pick a color. So let's say, for example, say we want to use some orange color, some light orange, and if this is okay, I'll just click OK, and it will just ask me to give it a name. So I'm just going to use LT mat. So you already know why I'm using the LT, because we are actually working on the lakeside tour sequence. Okay, so I'll just click OK. So when you go to your project panel here, you see that we have the mat here. So what this mat does is, let me just go straight ahead. I'll just click hold and put it on top of here automatically. Then you see that you can see. So let me just reduce it a little bit to this side, right? So maybe that is where I just want the heading actually should be, or this is where I just want the color mat actually should be. And the most important thing about this color mat is here is you can always click on this icon. It will bring you back to the color in here, and you can choose any color. Okay, so you can click OK, and automatically it will actually take effect. So I will just click undo, which is Ctrl+Z, to get me back here. So with this one also, we can put text to it. So if I click on my text and click on it, actually I can just type maybe text animation. All right, text animations. I'll just go in for my pick tool, and I'll just click here to drag it out a little bit to expand it. And here I can also give some kind of motion effect to this text here. Okay, so if I just click on the text, I can come all the way to my scale here, and I can just click on this scale to have 100%, and I'll pull this 100% to the last here, and then I'll just make it something like 90. So the moment I click and I just give it 90 and 100 and I start to play, let me just reduce it back to where it is so that it will have the same background with this. Okay, so if I hit on play, automatically you see that I have actually add some kind of text animation, okay, to the video. So this comes before even the video start to show. Okay, so in this case, what about if I just want all this to go across the video? You do that if it's really worth it. So this one, if I start to play, you will not even see the video. What you'll be seeing is just the text. Okay, all right, let me just undo. Then let me just bring the header here. Let me just expand it a little bit for the, okay, so that I can see it wherever I am. All right, so let me just delete the text. Let me just delete the text here, and I have this background here. So select the background, come all the way to effect control. Then with the position here, I can choose to drag it back down here. Okay, some people actually use it for title, or maybe they want to put some caption in there and stuff. So with here, I can go ahead and do some typing in there. So let me just click on this icon to change the color to black, and I'll just click OK. So you see, so I can go in for my text tool here, and I can just type something here. Maybe Adobe Premiere Pro, okay, 2022. All right. So all what I need to do, I'll click and adjust it to fall on the mat here. All right. So here you can tell that my text actually does not start from the beginning. So all what I need to do, click this one and put it back. I can choose to use the eraser tool to cut here, and I can just use the V to select my selection to and delete it. All right. So right from here, if I should start to play, actually you see that we'll have the Adobe Premiere Pro 2020 down here. The video lag because it actually want me to surrender it. Okay, so don't worry. So this is actually how it's been done. All right. Okay. So the next one is, let me just delete the text, and with this one, let me just reset it, or so like the black actually will fill. Then some people also normally uncheck mark this uniform scale here. So once they do that, they have the scale height and the scale width. So if I should reduce the scale width, you see that I have this kind of effect in here. Okay, and I can come all the way to opacity and apply some kind of opacity to it so that I can see through. All right, and with this one also, I can go in for my text too by pressing T on your keyboard, and I can just put it in here, and I can say maybe lakeside tour, okay, bicycle, just something just like that. Okay, all right. So with this one, you go in for your selection too, and you can adjust it the way you want, and actually it's going to be on it. So with this one, I can just click this one and drag it to snap it to the mat. Okay, so if I start to play, you see, so that is actually how it's been done. And for example, if we want to display it throughout the entire video, you just click and drag it to the end of the video here. That's what you need to do. All right, so then you go back. So when you start to play, actually this heading here, or this text that you have here actually is going to be on it throughout the video. So this is actually how you can actually put a text, okay, to show up in all your videos. Okay, so now let's just drag this one back, for which I think is too lengthy. Let me just drag it. Okay, let me just leave it somewhere here. All right, anywhere will be good. All right, okay. So now the next thing I just want us to look here is also, maybe you are making a video or report and you want to put your name somewhere here. With this one, we can also adjust it to, we can click and adjust it to the left. Okay, so while you click, you see that it's reducing. All right, it's reducing. So if the size there is okay for you, we can just use this one actually to align it down here very nicely. Then I'll go in for my text here. All right, go in it, press T, and maybe I just want to put in maybe just lakeside, just for whoever is watching to know that the location of this video actually is lakeside. I can put it in here. Okay, and with the with this one also, so with this one I can select the mat again. If the width here is too big, actually I can still reduce it, okay, just to fit into the text. All right, then I'll just select the text here also. Then I'll just click on it and I can align it nicely. All right, so with this one, when the video starts to play, you see that it will be there. So actually everybody knows that this location actually is it's a lakeside estate. All right, so if you want it to be across all the video, it's very easy. Okay, you can always do that. All right, you can always do that. The video is lacking, so let's just render those two text. Okay, with the text, actually with this kind of mat and stuff, actually, well, I have a whole section which I'll be explaining the graphics aspect, okay, whereby we will walk through all those things and maybe go into the advanced how to reveal a text and stuff. Okay, so I'm not going to dive deeper into this episode because this episode actually is just for adjustment and solid. Okay, so this episode actually doesn't permit me to go deeper into it because I have a whole section which talks about graphics, for which we will cover most of the things in there. All right, so actually let's just wait for our rendering actually to finish, then maybe we can just have a feel of it, how smoothly it's going to be. But in all, I hope by now you can you can use your phone to shoot any raw video, bring it to Adobe Premiere Pro, and with the skills you have learned so far up to this stage, you can come out with a very beautiful editing skills. Okay, so you keep on practice. Practice actually makes man perfect, as they say. So the moment you put it somewhere else, trust me, it will also leave you. Okay, so if really you are aiming to become a video editor, then I'll just encourage you to take this course very seriously. Okay, so we have a few minutes there to go. So let's just wait for it. Okay, or I'll just meet you at the other side when it's done rendering. All right, guys. So the rendering is done. So let's just hit on our space bar actually. Then you can see that everything in there is playing smoothly without any lagging. Okay, guys. So this is all about this episode. So this brings us in to this episode. See you in the next